In this Blender tutorial, I'll show you how to create pixel style artwork in Blender. So in this video, we'll be creating these pixel flowers and then also this pixel crate. And I use this method of creating pixel art to create this pixel farm 3D artwork. And this is pretty obvious, but this pixel style farm that I created was heavily inspired by Minecraft. And if you'd like to take a look at all the final renders, you can find the finished artwork on my ArtStation profile. I'll have a link to that in the description. So what I first did is I created all of these different 3D assets. So you can see I have like some wheat here and an apple. I also have like some trees and some fence posts. We have some lily pads and then also some blocky tools and then like some dirt and a path and some water and some grass. And then I also created some crates and like a barrel and a bucket. And then I created some different plants like some wheat and also just some green plants and then some different flowers. So then once I created all of the 3D assets, I combined them together and I created this cool little pixel farm artwork. And if you'd like to purchase the finished artwork project files, then you can get that with the links in the description. And in the artwork project files, you'll get this finished Blender file here with the pixel farm. You'll also get another Blender file with this little path that I created with some flowers around it. And as well as that, you'll also get this Blender file with all of the different assets. So you can just add the assets as an asset library into Blender, and then you can just drag and drop the models into a 3D scene, and you can create your own pixel style environment. And so what you can do is turn on Blender's snapping feature by clicking right up here. And then if you move this around, you can see it's going to move my increments. So for example, if I just wanted to make a quick environment with these assets, I could like duplicate this, stick it here. And you can see because I'm on top view, I can just select the assets, hit Shift D to duplicate, and they're going to move around by these increments. And I can just quickly create a grassy ground. Then if I just select one of these boxes, I can duplicate it and move it over, and it's going to move my increments. Of course, if you want to like turn the snapping feature off, you could just turn it off. And then you can just move it and rotate it and just kind of duplicate the grass, kind of stick the grass there on the plane. I could also like duplicate the shovel and just kind of have it sticking here on the crate. And since the assets are modular, I can easily just duplicate them and stick them right next to each other, just like that. And so using this modular workflow, I was able to create this really cool kind of pixel style artwork. So if you're interested in purchasing the project files, you can find the product links in the description, but now I'll show you how to create your own pixel artwork in Blender. So in a new Blender scene, I'm just going to delete everything. So I'll go to the add menu and I'm going to add a plane, and then I'm going to scale everything down by 0.2 and then press Ctrl A and apply the scale. So if you want your assets to be modular like I did, then make sure the scale is the same for all the objects. So I scaled my objects down by 0.2 and then press Ctrl A and just applied the scale. You could also just use the default size in Blender, but I just scaled everything down to 0.2. You can see, for example, if I just add a cube and then also scale this down by 0.2, you can see it's going to be the same exact size as the plane. So now let's go into edit mode, and I just want to rotate this on the x-axis by 90 degrees, hit enter, and then what I can do is click right up here to turn on the snapping feature, and I'll go to front view by hitting 1 on the numpad, and I'm just going to bring this up here on the z-axis and just stick it right there on the very top. So let's now click over here to go to the shading workspace, and I'm going to add a new material. So I'll click on new to add a new material, and I can just call this flowers. So let's just search for an image texture node. We're going to click on new here to create a new image texture, and on the name here I can just call this flowers. And then here on the width and height, I want to make this very small because I want to make it look pixelated. So on the width and height, I'm going to go with 20 on both of them. Then here on the color, I'm just going to make this kind of like a green color, kind of a dark green, because this is the base color for the plant. And then I'll click on new image. So now the color can go into the base color. So if I go into the material preview, you can see the green color on the object. And also real quick before I forget, let's go here to the render properties, and I'm going to use the Eevee rendering engine. It's totally optional. You could use Cycles or Eevee, but I'm going to be using Eevee. Now before you texture paint, it's very important to UV unwrap the object. However, this plane is already UV unwrapped on default. So if I click over here to go to the UV editing and zoom in here, you can see it's already been UV unwrapped correctly. So it's just filling up that entire texture. So now what I can do is go here to the texture painting tab, and I can just zoom in here. Now you could use a drawing tablet if you want to, but since this is just pixel art, I'm just going to be using my mouse for this, and I'm basically just going to be clicking wherever I want the different colored pixels to be. Now right here on the brushes, I'm going to click over here on the search, and I'm going to start to type hard, because you can see we now have the erase hard and the paint hard. And the difference between this one and this one is one of them uses like the pen pressure and one of them doesn't. But in this case, because I'm using my mouse to paint this instead of a drawing tablet, it's going to ignore the pressure. So these are basically acting like the same brush. So you have the paint hard brush and the erase hard brush. So I can hit 1 on the numpad to go to front view, and then make sure your radius is pretty small. And then I'm first going to go to the erase hard, and now I can just click along here to start to erase this. And if I open this up and kind of zoom in here, you can see we're erasing that very small pixel texture. Now, if you're painting on the other side of the mesh and you try to paint this, you can see I can't really paint or I can't erase. And that is because I'm painting on the back side of the faces. So if you want to fix that, you can scroll right over here and you can click on options, and then you can turn off the back face culling. This way I can erase or draw on the back face as well as the front face. Now real quick, let's go back over here to the shading workspace, and we're having a few issues. One issue is that because the texture is so small that it looks really blurred, and another issue is that even though we've erased this, you still can't see through the mesh. So to fix the pixel blurring, what you can do is click on linear and you can change it to closest. And so this way, even though the texture size is very small, the pixels are still going to be really sharp. And then also to make the transparency work, we have this alpha here, and if I just preview the alpha, you can see it's black and white, and so that's because we painted away the mesh, so it's going to be black where it's transparent. So the alpha can go into the alpha, the principled shader, and then I can just preview the shader, and now you can see through the mesh where we painted away. So let's go back here to texture painting. I'll go to front view, and now I can just go along here and just paint away where I don't want the green parts. Now there's another problem which we're running into, and that is that like right over here, you can see this pixel is like somewhat transparent, but it's not fully transparent. So if I go into the material preview, you can see there's the issue. You can see it's somewhat transparent, but not all the way, but I don't want it to be kind of fading away. I either want it to be fully there or fully gone. So to fix this, what I can do is go up here to the fall off. And instead of custom, I can change this to constant. This way, if I paint away, there's going to be a consistency in the painting, so there isn't going to be kind of that smooth blending. I'm either going to fully erase it or fully paint it. So that way we're not having those issues with some of those pixels being a little bit transparent. So I'm just going to continue to go along here and just paint away wherever I don't want the green areas. And then if you want to add in more green, what you can do is click here on the paint hard, and then you also need to make sure that you're using the correct color. So to use the correct color, you can hover your mouse over the pixel and then press Shift X. So when you press Shift X, that is going to use the eyedropper and you can select a color, and then you can just go along here and just paint where you want kind of the flower stems to be. So I'm going to go down here, kind of paint green at the bottom, and maybe have a few spots kind of like merging together. So I'll just continue to paint along here until I've added all of the stems of the flower. And I'm going to call that good. So now I want to paint the little purple flowers. So let's click here on the color, and I'm going to make this kind of like a strong purplish pinkish color like that. And then what I can do is go along here and I'm going to paint flowers kind of like this. So go down, over, like that. That's going to be kind of the base shape of the flowers. So I'm going to go like 4 over. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pixels, then 2 pixels down. And then right here, I'm going to do another 2 pixels down. Just like that. So it's just some very basic flowers. And we could also do a few smaller flowers, just maybe do like some little squares here out of like 4 pixels, just to add like a few more flowers. So now what I can do to make this look a lot more interesting is to add some variation in the color. So I'll go back to the paint hard, and I'm using the purple color, but now what I can do is just make the purple color a bit darker. And then what I can do is turn the brush strength down. This way I can just kind of tap along here, and if I tap more and more, you can see it's going to get darker and darker because the strength is so low. Or if I just tap kind of a couple of times, it's just going to get slightly darker. So this is a nice way to add some variation to the color. And then once I'm done with this, I could also make it like more of a blue color or make it a bit lighter just to give it more variation. And then just go along here, maybe even make it a little bit more of a bluish color, so a purplish blue. Just add kind of a few more spots here and there just to kind of give a little bit of variation in the color. And then I can also again hit Shift X to use the eyedropper. I'll just select the green, then I can make it darker. And then I'm just going to go along here and make some of these green spots just a little bit darker to add more variation. So once the texture is finished, you can just just open up this side panel, you can click on image and click on save as. And just save the image somewhere on your computer. I'll just save it as flowers. Now what's really important is that you save it as a PNG image, and also make sure you choose RGBA for red, green, blue, and alpha, so it stores the alpha transparency, and then we'll click on save as image. And also I didn't save the Blender file, so I'll just click on file and save the blend file as well. So now let's go back over here to the layout, and I'll go into the material preview. So now I can create a few different variations. So I could have one flat one, I could duplicate this, go into edit mode, and I could hit Shift D to duplicate, and then rotate it on the Z axis by 90 degrees like that. So now you can see we kind of have like two different flat planes. So there's another variation. I could also duplicate this one, and then this one I could select everything in edit mode, and I could go to top view by hitting 7 on the numpad, and I could duplicate the plane, and the snapping feature is still turned on. So I could stick it right there, one blender grid over, duplicate it again, stick it another one blender grid over, and then if I select everything again, I can hit Shift D to duplicate, and I can rotate it by 90 degrees like that. So now you can see that it looks much more three-dimensional, and that looks a lot more interesting. Another thing that I could do is I could make each one of these flowers look a bit more 3D. So to do that, I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'll duplicate this and kind of move it up here, and I can hit the K button. The K button is going to turn on Blender's knife tool, and I can click here and then click along here, and I can just cut out one of the flowers. So just like that, cut out the flower, hit enter, and then what I can do is go to the face select. I can select this face and delete the faces. Then I can select this flower and I can just move it down here. And for this, you might want to turn off the snapping feature so you can move it very specifically. So I'll stick it right there. Let's go to top view and I can rotate it by 90 degrees like that. And I can see the flower looks a bit more 3D. So I could duplicate this and stick it here in the middle of all these flowers. Another thing that I could do is duplicate this, stick it here. And I could again hit the K button for the knife tool. And I could click here, click there and hit enter. And then if I go to the face select, I can delete that face. And then for this face here, I could rotate it on the y-axis by 90 degrees. I could bring it down, and let's just move it right over here to this side. And then I could also duplicate it and bring it over here like that. So we just have like two faces there, and I can see it looks even more 3D. So if you want to be able to see the flowers like from the top view, you can see now they look more three-dimensional. And then I could select everything and duplicate it and rotate it just like that. And maybe move one over here and one over here, just like that, so the flowers look more three-dimensional. So what I'm now going to do is select all these objects and just move them out of the way, and I'm also going to show you how to create a cool pixel-style crate. So I will go to the add menu, and let's just add a cube. And again, so it fits the size of the modular assets, I'm going to scale it down by 0.2, and then apply the scale. Then I'll go to front view, and in edit mode, I'm going to turn on the snapping, and I'll just move it up here just like that. So now the origin point is on the very bottom. So now let's click over here to go to the shading workspace, and I'll click on new here to add a new material. Let's just call this crate. And then I just want to add in another image just like we did before. So I'll go to the add menu and I'm going to search for an image texture. Let's click on new, and then this image here, I'm going to call it crate. And then instead of it being a green color here, I'm going to make it kind of like a light wood color. So kind of like a mid-orange color or a dark orange, something like that. And then on the width and height, I'm going to use 20 pixels by 20 pixels. I'll click on new image. Now this doesn't have any alpha transparency, so I'm not going to use the alpha. I'm going to put the color into the base color. And then also on the linear here, I'll change it to closest so that we don't have that blurring there of the pixels. Now let's go over here to the UV editing because we need to make sure we UV unwrap this. Now something that I want to do is I just want to be able to paint one face here, and I want it to mirror to all the other faces. So what I can do is hit the U button with everything selected in edit mode, and I can click on reset. What this will do is it'll take every single face and it will scale it up and it will overlap it over the texture. So this way they're all overlapping, so if I paint on one face, it'll add it to the other faces. So let's now click here to go to the texture painting workspace, and I can hit Shift X to select that color. But then for this color, I'm just going to make it like a bit brighter. So like that, a bit brighter, and also turn my brush strength up. And I can just go along here and I'm going to paint like two lighter colors here, just like that. Also, let's scroll over here and we'll go to the fall off, and instead of custom, I'm going to use constant instead. So a constant fall off. So I can just go along here, maybe make my brush a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to make kind of like a lighter area in the corners. So just like that. Now you can see if you look around to the other side, because the UV editing is all overlapping on the same texture, it's going to add it to all the faces. So now what I'll do is hit Shift X to just select that color. Let's scroll over here, make this smaller, and here on the color, I'm just going to make this slightly darker. And then what I can do is just go along here and I can paint in some little lines here to look like little boards of wood. And one more here on the bottom, just like that. So then what I can also do is on the corners here, I can add some little like gray spots to look like little metal pieces, which is maybe holding the crate together. So if I click on the color, let's first start by turning up the red, green, and blue here on the RGB so it's fully white. And then I can just drag the light color down so it's kind of gray. And then I can just paint along here. And I can just add kind of like some light gray colors here to make it look like little kind of pieces of metal which are keeping it all together like that. Then what I can do is also just make it like a bit darker, and I can turn my brush strength down, and then I can just kind of tap along here and I can make some variations in the brightness. So maybe make that a bit darker, add some there, just like that, so there's a bit of variation. So that's definitely looking a lot more interesting. Now what I also want to do is add kind of like a piece which is going back and forth from this corner to this corner. So I'll hit Shift X and just select this base color, and then I'm going to make it quite a bit darker, so like that. Let's paint here and see how that's looking. Oh, I need to turn my brush strength up, paint along here, and that's pretty good. So what I'm first going to do is paint all of these right here going down diagonally. So I'm going to paint pixels all the way down here to this corner. Then what I can do is paint back and forth just to make this one plank a little bit bigger. So this is maybe like a plank in the middle, which is kind of holding the crate together. Then what I can do is hit Shift X again and select this color here. And this one I'm going to make just a little bit darker. So now it's just a little bit darker. That's actually too dark. Maybe make it a little bit brighter. And I can now go along here and I can just paint almost like a shadow to give it a bit of depth. So I'm just going to go along there, kind of fill that all in just like that. And now you can see we have this cool slanted board there. So let's just open up the side panel. Let's click on image and we'll just save this image. And I'll just save it as crate as a PNG image, and you can click on save as image. And let's go back over here to the layout. Now, if you want to add extra details to this, you could of course model the details before you texture paint it, but in this case, I thought it would be really cool to just add a few more details after I texture paint it. So for example, I could go into edit mode and I could select everything and hit Control B for a bevel. And I can just bring the bevel out until it's about 1 pixel wide. Click right there. Let's also go back into edit mode, and what I'm going to do is hold down the shift key and I'm going to select all of the faces. So select all of the bigger faces. And we'll go into the material preview, and I can hit the I key to inset this, and I'll just make it about that big, about 1 pixel down. Then I'll hit E to extrude, and I'll hit escape so they stay where they are. And then I'm going to hit Alt S, and Alt S is going to scale the faces or move the faces in along the normals. So I'm just going to bring it down not too far, just like about that. Place that there. So now the crates kind of go in there. So these pieces here look like bigger pieces of wood, which are holding the crate together. That makes the entire model look a lot more interesting because it has a lot more depth. So you now know how to create pixel art in Blender. So that'll be it for this tutorial. So I hope you found this helpful, and thank you so much for watching. And if you are interested in purchasing the finished project files of my pixel farm, you can find the product links in the video description. So I hope you found this helpful, and thank you for watching.